In this lesson, we're going to be doing some grade 8 exponents together. So I'm going to write the questions down and then I will walk you through the process of solving for it step by step. In the first question, we've got a multiplication and a division. So the way that I'm rather going to write it, just because it's easier for myself, is as a fraction. Now, because it's multiplication, I can go and add my exponents together. And now I can minus my exponents from each other because it is a division sum. In this case, I'm going to go solve for my question and then I can just go and add them together. With this question, I'm going to divide the 2 into my 8. And now if I look carefully, I can see that my A value is bigger at the bottom. So when I minus them from each other, I have to make sure I put my final answer for A at the bottom. My B value is larger at the top, so when I minus those from each other, my answer will come at the top. My C is larger at the bottom, so I'm going to write my C down there. In this case, I'm going to go solve at the top first because there are 2 x's that need to multiply, which means I have to add the exponents together. Now I can go and simplify. 6 divides into 18 3 times, and 18 is bigger than 6, so the answer will be at the top. If I look at my x's, my x is larger at the top, so 5 minus 4 is 1. My y is also larger at the top, so 6 minus 2 is 4. However, there is nothing to simplify my z with, so that one is going to stay at the bottom. With this question, because there's a bracket, I'm first going to see if I can simplify inside of my bracket, and I can clearly see that I can't. So what I'm going to do is bring that 2 in. This is a coefficient, so I'm going to put the 8 to the power of 2 to get 64. Then I can go and multiply the exponent, so that becomes x to the power of 4, y to the power of 2. With this question, there are no exponents, so I don't have to worry about bringing the exponents in first. If there had been, that would be my number 1 priority. So I can just see this whole thing as a multiplication sum. There's a minus over here and a minus over there. They're multiplying with each other, which means they're going to cancel each other out, because a negative times a negative gives me a positive. 5 times 2 gives me 10, and then I can go and add all of the exponents together. With this one, there is an exponent with a last bracket, which means that is going to be my number 1 priority. So for now, I'm just going to write the rest of the sum down again so that I can first go and solve for that. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4. Then I've got my x squared and my y squared, because that exponent has to multiply in with both of those. Now I can go and multiply everything together, so I only have one negative, so my final answer will be negative. There's a 4 over there and a 4 over there, so I can multiply them with each other. Then I've got an x there, an x there, and an x there. Because it's multiplication, I'm going to add all of my exponents. So that's going to give me 7, and then my y's will give me 7 as well. Alright, with this sum, there's a lot going on. So there's a whole bunch of different, let me just take the curly brackets and just make them normal brackets so I don't confuse you. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of powers raised to powers and brackets inside of brackets. So what we do is we always locate the center, and we're going to start there. So because this is an even number, the negative is going to disappear. So I'm going to be left with x squared. Now what I can go and do is I can multiply those two together to give me negative x to the power of 3. I can now bring those exponents in. Because that is an even number, 2 is an even number, that negative is going to disappear. And I'm going to be left with x to the power of 6. Now I can multiply this in, so my answer over there is going to be negative. I'm going to be left with x to the power of 7, everything to the power of 3. Because this is an odd number, my final answer will be negative, and I'll be left with x to the power of 21 after I multiplied it in.